Chronics from the most extreme wrestling, and this is your AEW Dynamite review for April 22nd, 2020. It's Jericho and Tony Schiavone on commentary. Is it live? Is it not? Well, it was live to me as Cody Rhodes is cutting a promo from a quite comfortable looking custom-made gaming chair. Are those things really that comfortable? Because if they are, I think I might need to invest in one. He's talking about people becoming complacent. He's talking about people staying on the mid-card. He's out there trying to answer the call and how much this TNT championship is going to mean, what it's going to do to whoever wins, and he definitely is looking to win. But we got more qualifying matches tonight. We'll go over that to see who Cody Rhodes is going to end up taking on. So, with what is happening right now, they kind of had to stop a lot of the storylines because people can't get there. They got to pre-tape a lot of things. So, you know, it's really seeming that the TNT Championship tournament was actually a pretty good idea because they're able to use that. Just insert this in here and use this for a couple of weeks worth of build of the championship, and then they can get some of their other stuff over along the way. So, good job, AEW. That actually was a pretty smart, pretty brilliant right there. But Cody Rhodes, man, he always kills it on a promo. This man just doesn't miss a beat, really, and he really can't because of the position he's in. He's got to deliver the goods if he's going to look as good as he's trying to be. How he still has his light-colored hair, I don't really know. I guess he dyes his own hair, but I mean, hey, if you dyed your hair that much and that frequently, well, I would suppose you probably know how to do it yourself, or perhaps Brandy does it. I don't know. Who knows? Probably doesn't matter. But it's a blonde tonight. Sammy Guevara, he speaks on his match with Darby Allin. This is going to be one of those qualifying, or as a match going further in the tournament. And Darby, of course, he has his own custom-made little video. Nice little touch there. It's Sammy Guevara versus Darby Allin. There's a lot of stakes on the line on this one, of course, because the TNT Championship, if you lose, you're out of this tournament. So, stakes are high. Sammy, he dives out of the ring and attacks Darby Allin right out the gate. You thought Darby Allin was crazy doing these coffin drops off of every which way. Oh, no. Sammy Guevara, he's coming after that ass. They end up putting a ladder propped up on the apron of the ring, stretched across to the barricade, the steel barricade. And Sammy Guevara hits a splash on this ladder with Darby Allin on top of it, and it looked like it was painful. It looked like it was brutal. And after the whole commercial break, a whole commercial break goes by, comes back on the air, and then they start the match. These guys were fighting outside with all this going on. And it was getting wild up in there. Both men were bleeding. One from the nose, or maybe it was both from the nose. And Sammy ended up barefoot at one point. So I guess his leg was swelling up. He's having some Eddie Guerrero issues there. They were fighting so much that Darby was losing his face paint and Sammy Guevara was losing blood. Sammy Guevara hits a kind of wonky spinning dive attack, which Chris Jericho calls a 730, and I said, hold up, wait. No, it's more like 7:25 Central Time, which that was a fact. As Sammy's nose is bleeding, Darby Allin comes in with a quick pin, and Darby Allin advances. He advances on, and he will fight Cody Rhodes next up. But that's not this week. Let's continue more with this week. And that, by the way, is going to be a pretty interesting match. They've built up to that for a while, so it will be quite a good match. I sure hope so. Especially if they're taping it. I mean, how could you have a terrible, horrible match if it's pre-taped? Right? Matt Hardy, he's cutting a promo on challenging Jericho to an elite deletion. Craziness to ensue there, I'm sure. But he says if Chris Jericho cannot do this, he will take on Guevara. So I don't know if they're just planting the seeds there because Chris Jericho can't wrestle for whatever reason. Who knows? Maybe he just can't. I don't know. But he did mention it. Probably to give them as many options as possible, just in case. But then we go from the crazy, wacky Damascus Matt Hardy to the unbroken, regular-ass Matt Hardy that you would meet on the street. But why? I don't know. Why all of a sudden does he go from broken to regular Matt? Oh, well, Chronics, it's just more believable. Is it, though? Is it? Because I don't think so. I don't like it. It just doesn't feel right. It just doesn't feel right. I want to take it off and take a shower. It just feels weird. But he says that AEW is for the future. So I don't know why he's fighting Chris Jericho. But yeah. Anyways, we'll see what happens in that situation. Next up, it's Alan Angels versus Kenny Omega. So I thought that this was interesting. I was like, wait a second. I see Alan Angels in the ring. I see Cassandra Golden in the crowd. I see Danny Jordan in the crowd. And then I thought, hold up, wait a second. I pulled up this little picture. This is like a match card, right? Or not a match card. This is like the little poster. I did a poster sideways just to be different because, you know, that's just me, right? But I was like, wait, there's Danny Jordan, there's Cassandra Golden, and there's Alan Angels. I got 3 people that we booked on a Committed to Wrestling show in 2018. And now they're in AEW. I mean, they're not signed, they're not full-time or whatever, but over the past couple of weeks, they've been appearing, and I thought that that was super cool. Man, somebody did a really good job of scouting out talent is all I'm saying. Anyways, they had a pretty nice match, and somehow Alan Angels, he musters up enough to kick out of a freaking V-trigger. So, you know, in AEW, they don't necessarily just have squash matches. They give people a lot of room, and they give them a lot of space. So compared to WWE, it's like, wow. But I think that that's good. You know, you don't want to just roll through people, and they didn't do that. Although Kenny Omega did beat Alan Angels here, and Chris Jericho through the entire match could not get the man's name right, but it was funny. He was making fun of that man, and that's okay. Scorpio Sky's got a little video package. I have been missing out on Scorpio Sky. I really like this dude. I think he's got a lot of talent, a lot of potential, all that jazz, but we haven't seen him a lot recently, so they started this thing off like we were watching a Scorpio Sky DVD, and they cut it out on us and said, more next week, so that's cool. I like that concept. I like that idea. It's like we're seeing something that we normally would have had to pay for. Or it would have been on a special, or it would have been something that was built up to. And at the same time, we get to see Scorpio Sky, and I think that that's pretty sweet. Next, we're shown a video promoting Being the Elite, episode 200, featuring the Young Bucks backyard wrestling and DDTing each other on a hard ground and not being hurt by it and falling off of things and hitting each other with weapons and doing Canadian destroyers into a pool. I mean, is that supposed to be funny? Is that supposed to be ironic? Is that supposed to be inspiring? Is that supposed to be cool? I don't even know what that's supposed to be, but man, that's fine for YouTube. But this is what they're putting on TNT? To be like, hey, this is wrestling. Oh, no. Jimmy Havoc versus Orange Cassidy. Jimmy Havoc, he is down on Denim because he comes out attacking like he's beating this boy with a leather strap. It's crazy. He, in this match, is biting the hands of Orange Cassidy, I guess because he can't staple them. So he bites them, you know. It's not quite the bite. It doesn't have quite the teeth that a staple would have, but he bites his damn hands, puts them in his pockets, and it's almost as if he had stapled his pockets shut because he couldn't get them out for whatever reason, even though he was in pain. You know, you think you'd pull them out and start rubbing them or something, but that didn't happen. Hopefully they'll be able to get some hand sanitizer after the match, maybe wash them, because if another man, or woman for that matter, is biting your hands and shoving them into your pockets, you are risking infection. Oh, where are we? Okay, but Cassidy, he's cooler than a cucumber or a chilled orange. Probably should work on that one. He rolls out, starts firing back, and forward she tries to distract, and then Dad Bod Chuck Taylor slides one of her legs out. She does the splits. Why? It didn't distract anybody. And was that a comedy spot? I don't know. Do I just not think things are funny? I don't know. Like, it made me start feeling like I was a little bit crazy because I didn't understand what was happening. Sabian does a dive. Cassidy, he gets an arm crucifix, and Ford runs in the ring and looks awkward. This looked very independent wrestling to me. Cassidy wins. It was just the ending. It was just like that whole like, oh, this is happening. Whoa, that's happening. Wow, somebody's flying through the air. Somebody's doing the splits. It's so crazy. It was unnecessary. They didn't need all that. I mean, they could have just had freaking Cassidy not get distracted and hit the arm crucifix. Would that have been sufficient? In my mind, yes. But no, they didn't do that. Okay. After Cassidy gets this win, it's MJF cutting a promo. Okay, we're gonna be saved. It's gonna be fine. He's hurt. He's injured, I suppose. He's feigning, looking super sad. He looks almost as if he's in front of a green screen, but I really couldn't tell if it was or not. But some of the camera movements and the artifacts around his hair, it looked as if it had been green screened. But if it had, then it looked pretty dang good because it even sounded good because they had the audio wind effects. Yes, the sound of wind. Anyways, we got Lee Johnson. He's taking on Wardlow. Who do you think is going to win in this one? Well, it's probably going to be Wardlow, who was strangely wearing some tights that looked like they had clover leaves on them. I know they weren't, but just looking at them from afar, you give it that little eye test, and you see those little green spackles he has there around his hips. Yeah, man. Look, during these times, the thing I would do is order some fancier gear and hope it comes in by the time they start doing live episodes again. He hits the big knee to the face, and I'm talking about hits it big time. This Lee Johnson was on the second turnbuckle, and Wardlow hits him with a hell of a knee and picks Lee Johnson up, tosses him like a pizza, and pins this man 1, 2, 3. Boom. This thing is over. Oh my goodness. Brody Lee, he is interviewing a wrestler, I guess. We don't see their face, but they're like, oh, you're a Heisman Trophy winner, etc., joining the new talent, blah, 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 blah. So just more of the Brody Lee is Vince McMahon. I know that they tried to say that this isn't making fun of Vince McMahon, but boy, you lying. We know the truth. Know the truth of this situation. Yeah, we do. Okay, Justin Law, he's back again, and he's taking on Brody Lee, but this time he doesn't have that big, massive hand mark on his chest like he did last week. But wouldn't you know that Brody Lee chops his boy so hard that it leaves this giant handprint on his chest for the rest of the match. So hold on. He either slapped him so hard he took him into next week, or they filmed these backwards. I'll let you decide. Okay. But yes, Brody Lee, of course, he won this one. And I don't know who Justin Law is, but he's gotten two, count them, two AEW Dynamite appearances and gotten his little butt kicked twice. Best friends with Orange Cassidy. They are in a gym getting interviewed by one of their girlfriends, I guess. She had her head turned the entire time and never turned and looked at the camera, which was awkward. I don't know what that was about. She had to have been somebody's girlfriend. I mean, I probably could look it up, but I'll just look it up after the video. Then I can verify. And let me get back to you on that one. Got to do my research like an interviewer would. Okay, this promo was kind of dumb. They were trying to act serious, but trying to be dopey at the same time. I'm sorry, but you can't really do both at the same time. I mean, you can have humor, but to just be like, I'm serious, I'm mad. Hey guys, want to hear a good joke? It just tonally doesn't match up. I don't understand. Who approved this promo? Okay, it's the Bubbly Bunch. This is where we go into full-on comedic. And Sammy's sad. Sammy Guevara is very sad. Okay, I mean, hey, he did lose this match. And they are like, hey, you know what's going to cheer you up? We do a little bit of a flim-flam. So they start making fun of TikTok videos and start doing the dance that, everyone does on TikTok, because that's what you do on TikTok. Chris Jericho, he gets upset because of Sammy Guevara's Spanish God dancing maneuvers. He throws a temper tantrum, and then the video's over when we see Chris Jericho's dog. So yeah, this is full-on satire, but I mean, Sammy Guevara did win the dance-off contest, and he's going to be getting a 75% full hand sanitizer thing from Chris Jericho, so congratulations. And the main event tonight is Dustin Rhodes taking on Kip Sabian. Whew. A main event anywhere in the country, as they might say. Or maybe no one. But Dustin, he really puts over Kip Sabian, making him look all good and everything. And keep in mind that Dustin Rhodes said if he lost, he's going to retire. Boy, if you lose to Kip Sabian and your 4-decade career goes down with the closing notes that you lost your wrestling lineage, everything you ever did, it all got ended by Kip Sabian on a random episode, pre-taped episode of Dynamite. Ooh, that's not a good look. That doesn't look good on the Wikipedia, if you know what I'm saying. But Kip Sabian's coming out with Ford because, of course, we could afford more of her, right? And Brandy Rhodes is wearing red and is with Dustin because, look, hey, Brandy didn't get on last week's episode, so she's got to be on this week's episode. And I'm not complaining. But she did get in and do a spear during the match, and I couldn't really figure out why. Is she a wrestler? Is she going to have a match with Ford? Or did she just randomly spear this lady and then they're going to forget about it and then move on? Yeah, I'm going to go with number 2 in this situation. They have a okay match, I suppose, but it's punctuated and ended with a Canadian destroyer. Because look, if you're in wrestling and you're going up in age, hey, Canadian destroyer is probably your best, flashiest bet. And yes, Dustin Rhodes. He wins this one. Good for him. This main event fell a little bit flat to me, but I did like some of the interview segments that they did, some of the build-up packages they're doing for Cody and some of these other guys, trying to make him look nice, trying to build him up, trying to prop him up. So as we go into the future looks nice and bright for these wrestlers here in AEW, but I'm gonna catch you guys next time.